Okay, so importing the object into Substance Painter. You just go to File, New, go to Select, and then I'm just going to select my kitchen that I made. Click on OK, and only because I had stuff set up before. Now in our scene. Now this has a 2D view. Well, we can do 3D only, but let's just see what's happening. If we go to 3D, 2D, let's see what's going on. So right now, I'm scrolling out. See what I'm saying? All those tiles, if when we spread them out in Houdini, we can go up to 100. But as soon as they get too big for their britches and they start acting up and they're down here, then it's not going to work. That's why we had that slider and I was keeping everything on top. Now, right now, we only see stuff in this one, and this is because this is the tile we were using. This is the group of the spoon. So if I click right here, we have these groups, or we can see this is our bowl group. So this is the bowl UV that are spread out in Houdini. And this is like a visibility to see. And if I click on one, it solos it out. So I could just see one. If I click on this, I can go show all. So that's the bowl. Here's the countertop, right? Click on the eyeball, disappears, right? The floor group, same thing. Click on the eyeball, disappears. So everything was split out with the groups, which means we can paint on each one of these things individually. And here are the UVs, just so you can see what's going on. So as you can see, they're all like changing because of the different groups. And there's a way to get higher resolution out of this, but this will be for another thing. I just want to show you this for now. Now, one thing before we paint, we have to bake these mesh maps. So we can, if you right here, there's layers. So this is basically saying, let me go to my floor. So if I'm on my floor group, I'm on my floor layer and I can paint on my floor layer, just like in Photoshop. All right, so there's my floor. But what I want is oh no, that's right. Yeah, just basically saying that's what the things are. So let's see this all in 3D. All I gotta do is click on here and go to 3D only, and I can see it just like this. So since this is my floor group, oh yeah, I'm sorry. Bake mesh maps is what we have to do. So we have to click on this, bake mesh maps, and we can go to 2048, and we have to bake selected textures. So we can get it from this menu right here, which is under texture set settings tab. So layers, texture set settings, or we can just go over here to edit and bake mesh maps, and we get the same menu. So let's just go to 2048 and click on bake selected textures. And what this will do is this will calculate the ambient occlusion, which is the distance between surfaces. So right now, we'll see what it looks like, right? We see how this looks like on the floor to the island block and this, and we see what it looks like. It looks really flat. So if I go to bake mesh maps 2048 and bake selected textures, we're going to check out the ambient occlusion. So it's going to calculate the distance between the two surfaces and give it the appropriate amount of shading, just like you just saw there, but you'll see it coming together. It's just looking at the objects in the position that they are in the 3D space to prepare them for painting so your textures look correct. Okay, so you see the difference? How now we have the darkness under there and these have that, and the floor now has this baked in. So it looks a lot realer. Well, not realer, but well, yeah, I guess it does look realer. It's looking good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm on the floor group, on the floor layer. Let's add some wood. So if I go right here and I type in wood, and now I take this and I can drag this over here on the layer, let it go, boom. Now I get some wood. Now, right now you could say like the wood scale is super large. So if I go over here to scale, and it has a lock on it, basically saying that the X and the Y are all the same. So I can just go over here and change the scale. I can also change the rotation if the rotation wasn't the right way. So I can go in here and say, all right, yeah, I want it to be this way. I want it to be 90, right? So we can do that. And then we have a bunch of parameters. I don't know what everything means. So sometimes I'll just go in and I'll slide something just to see what happens. Then Control Z. So for this, we have our wood color. So if I click on this, if I can make it lighter, I can make it darker. I can do a lot of things with this, right? Just color. And also if I hold down shift and right click, I can rotate. There's like a environment light, a dome light. So we can rotate and kind of see what's going on. And so we see the depth right here in the floor. If I go to the roughness or in the glossiness as well. So if it's really rough, it doesn't reflect as much. It's not as shiny. But then if I pull this back, now it can get really shiny because there's no roughness. So you just have to fine tune it and find what you're looking for. You want shellacked wood. You want kind of dry, walked on wood. Fibers. Fibers doing layers. Okay, so layers is kind of like moving the tiles closer and farther away. And then, you know, you can go in here and mess with these and luminance and contrast. So these will give you different looks. Just wanted to make it a little bit more rich. You know, it's U shift. You want a green floor or yellow floor for some reason. Saturation. But the other ones that are matter are height position. So if I move this, we can see that it's kind of like, see the floor doing something. If I click on height range, it's either going to be flat or it's going to raise this up to give the illusion of like depth. If I was to do this again, what I do is I just model one piece of wood and then copy it so that it looks like I have wood planks, kind of like a real floor. But we can still make stuff look cool with this. So let's say I don't like that wood, right? I can just click on this eyeball and bring it back. Or I can hide it and I can just get another wood. So like this walnut, put this over here. And now I have a whole different type of wood. Holding down shift and right click to rotate this. And same thing, I can go over here to the scale, change it, and get the kind of look I want. And so really quickly, so this is the floor. Let me go to the countertop and I can look through this list of materials and I can also change them as well. So I can say plastic, right? So let me click on the countertop group. Oh, no, say marble. So marble. Well, let me go ahead and click on this. Marble. So these are called smart materials. And if I click on this, I drag this now into the layer. Now I have marble. And it works the exact same way. But this is more than one material within a stack. So this is like a layered material. And as a folder. So I can go over here to the base color. Oh, wow. And this has another folder. Click on this. And if I want to change this color, I can change that color. So it has two colors basically for the base color. And we just go in here and just adjust this how we like. And each one of these has its own parameters, but we'll have to go into that later. Remember, I can turn off this eyeball and just, and I can test this different ones. I can test different materials. I just got to turn off the visibility one. So that one's on, that one's off, that one's on. Well, they look kind of the same. Is it the same? I don't know. Let's get this one. And then you kind of got to go through sometimes and find out which one. So what I want to know is, how do I get these smaller? So I'm saying, oh, okay, this is the marble veins. And I can just, go in here and adjust the scale. So like this. That might be a little bit advanced, these smart materials, but it's all about just going in and moving the sliders. And then lastly, I'll just do the spoon. So if I type in, get off of this, I'll go to these materials. I can say I have a shiny iron spoon. How about that? So I have an iron spoon. This bowl, I don't know. For whatever reason, let me just make it this color. It's blue. But if I go in here and I don't want it to be blue, I want it to be like pink or something, do that as well. Hold down shift, right click. I'm seeing all this. And then these materials, we can take them and import them back into Maya. But I'll continue this lesson in a little bit.